Hi Capricorn, this is Joanna from Tarot with Joanna, here to do another reading. Hello, hello, hello. So Capricorn, in today's reading, I'm going to give you two of the Denise Lynn Oracle cards, going to do your reading and then clarify it. So let us get started. Hope you guys are doing well, Capricorn. Let's see what's going on in your reading. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Capricorn spirit for their highest good. One more card. All right. So you have ascending the mountain, keep going forward. So definitely, you're moving forward, even though you can't see the road ahead, or it has a rocky start, or there's obstacles in the way. Just keep pushing forward and not give up, you guys. Don't give up. You also have Journey by Moonlight. Believe in magic. Yes, definitely believe that everything is going to fall into place. Believe, have faith. Keep your faith. Know that everything will fall into place. That you are very divinely guided. That the universe has your back. That our Lord has your back. So, don't give up on anything, you guys. All right, Capricorn. Let's see what's going on for your reading. Capricorn, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. One for the current, one for the situation, one for the past or now, one for the what's hidden, for the hopes and the fears. Wow. One for what you need to do now, what you need to work on, and the outcome. Okay. And for the end of the card, you did get the Empress. So there could be somebody around you that's pregnant, but I feel like you need to nurture yourself and take care of yourself because you're very overwhelmed with everything that's going on. I feel like you're still very defensive. Also, really be careful on how you're speaking to people. Really, your communication, really be careful on that also. So let's get started, Capricorn, see what's going on in your reading. You do have the Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, you're very overwhelmed with a lot of things that are going on in your life. I feel like you're a multitasker. You know how to create the money. You know how to do things. But you're very, what you don't do is take care of yourself. And right now you need to start taking care of yourself. You do have the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is talking about being focused, really seeing things clearly, being bold, standing in your power, speaking your mind, doing what you need to do, speaking your truth. You have the Five of Wands for the past or now. I feel like it's now. I feel like you still carry a lot of conflict within you. I feel like you're bitter about a lot of things that are going on. You do have the Eight of Swords here for what's hidden. The Eight of Swords is talking about that you could be feeling like you're stuck, or maybe there's just don't want to deal with anything right now. Maybe you're blinded by your emotions, or what you're doing, how you're feeling, or things that have been happening. And then you have the Seven of Cups down here for the hopes and fears. The Seven of Cups is saying that maybe you're confused about everything that's going on. Maybe you want a lot of things maybe there's a lot of things that you want. I also feel like you could be being pulled in different directions. Like you want to go do this, you want to go do that, you have to go do this and do that, stuff like that. But we'll see. Also, a decision is here for you that you need to make. You have the World card here, Capricorn, and it's talking about a new cycle, new path that's here for you, new experiences if you want it, if you're ready for it. You do have the Four of Pentacles and what you need to work on, and it's something you're holding on to very tightly. Could be this anger, could be this frustration, feeling stuck, feeling like, you're not really seeing things clearly, things like that. You do have the Hangman here for the outcome. The Hangman is talking about, really seeing things differently, really trying to see things differently, really having patience for everything, really you could also be waiting on something. So we'll see why they're all here. Take what resonates with you, Capricorn, and leave the rest. This is Capricorn spirit. This is for Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on in your life, in your reading. Sorry. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? Wow. Okay. So, yes, you're definitely feeling very overwhelmed. You're feeling very overwhelmed with everything that's going on. When the Queen of Pentacles shows up, the Queen of Pentacles is talking about really taking care of yourself, really having that self care for yourself. I feel like you need to really plan carefully, and I feel like you've been working hard to create this abundance for yourself. I feel like you need to really take it easy and take care of yourself. You're also feeling very overwhelmed with everything because the Ten of Wands shows up. Ten of Wands is saying that you're carrying everything on your shoulders, trying to do everything for everyone. I feel like you need to start setting boundaries here, um, for all everything that's going on in your life. You also have the Temperance card, and the Temperance card is saying, find your patience and be calm about things, even though they feel overwhelming. You need to still really be calm about everything that's going on. I do feel like you need to really balance everything, and that's your home, your work, yourself, how you're thinking and how you're doing things, especially for yourself. Eat better, sleep better, think positive instead of negative, instead of, eating so many sweets, eat a little bit more healthier, instead of staying up all night, sleep a little bit more, is what they're saying, really try to keep everything balanced. I feel like you're very divinely guided also here, Capricorn. You do have the King of Swords, and why? One more card. Wow. So you do have the Chariot card here, and then you have the Page of Wands. There's definitely some kind of messages that are coming in towards you. I feel like you need to start taking control of everything that's going on in your life, especially with the Chariot card here being here. Um, really need to also believe in yourself that you can create and do anything and be successful in everything that you do. For some reason, I feel like you're not believing in yourself. I feel like you need to have optimism. I feel like you need to just have that encouragement that everything is going to work out for its own good. I feel like there will be opportunities for you. I feel like there is going to be success here, but I also feel like you're trying to move forward, and it's very difficult for you at times. But they're asking you to really focus, okay, and speak your truth about everything that's going on, because once you start speaking your truth and start, being honest with everything that's going on, you know, um, you will be able to move forward. But this isn't a situation, so they're asking you to focus, to speak your truth, to stand in your power, to have that strength and be courageous to speak the truth that you need to speak about. And with the Chariot card, I do feel like you will move forward if you try to do that, if you do that, because it's like excuse me, it's like getting things off your chest, and that's something that you need to work on and do. With the Chariot card, you're very you want to move forward, and you want to leave the all this negativity behind, which is true, but you need to find your willpower, your determination to move through all these challenges that you're going through, and you need to keep your faith. um you have the Five of Wands here. Oh gosh, thank you, Spirit. You have the Five of Wands here, and the Five of Wands is talking about that you still hold on to this a lot of conflict. You still hold on to this anger, this frustration, this anxiety that you're holding on to, and they're asking you to try to release that, because it reflects on you a lot. You're holding it all in, and you're feeling like negative. Look at, even though the road is bumpy, even though the road is not as clear as you thought that it would be clear, still keep pushing forward and not give up. And I do believe it. Now, you have the Eight of Swords here. And why is the Eight of Swords here, and what's hidden from a card? Wow. So you did come into your own reading, Capricorn. The devil is here for you, which is very interesting, because it's something that you really need to take a hold of and see. I feel like you could be feeling stuck with the devil here, also with the Eight of Swords here being here. I feel like you could be feeling stuck. I feel like there could be repeated patterns also. Not wanting to give up your old ways of doing things, and I feel like it's very hard for you at times. But with the Eight of Swords here, starting off with the Eight of Swords here, I do feel like, maybe you're feeling tied down, like, you can't move forward from anything, because you do have these two cards together. And when these two cards show up, it's like a big thing, you know. It's like you're feeling stuck, you feel like tied down, you feel like you're limited, you know, not being able to move forward, very overwhelmed with everything that's going on, and not knowing what to do. They're asking you to, you know, maybe talk to people, get together with friends and family, you know, somebody who's close to you, you know, maybe share that with them. And, you know, because I feel like you have a lot of support around you. You're just not really noticing it, or you're not going towards it. And there is support around you. There is people that love you, that care about you, that support you in everything that you do, Capricorn. But there's, for some reason, you don't go towards that, you know. And I feel like there's togetherness here with people, you know. And I feel like you need that right now. You really need that. You have the Seven of Cups here in the hopes and fears. And why is the Seven of Cups here? One more card. Wow. Okay. Wow. So you do have the Two of Cups here. You start off with the Seven of Cups, and then you have the Queen of Wands. So with the Seven of Cups, I do feel like you could be confused about things. You know, they're asking you not to. I feel like you're being you like, maybe you're confused about what to choose, about where to go, what to choose. They're asking you to be realistic with your choices, to be realistic with what you're doing, because there is decisions here that you're trying to make. And I feel like you're trying to make a decision also with somebody that's around you, or somebody that's close, a connection that you have with some other person. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be like, you know, family. It could be with just friends, whatever it is. But there's some kind of connection here. I feel like you need to find balance in your emotions. That try not to let your emotions get in the way of trying to make these decisions. Okay, because I feel like you need to really see the positive and see that there's two sides to everything when you're making these decisions. Okay. And I also feel with the Queen of Wands being here, they're asking you to find your strength, to find to see the light in everything, to be positive in everything. That even though you've been going through so many things that have been happening in your life, endings, you know, a lot of a lot of situations that's been happening in your life, you know, you still have to see the light in everything. Like, find your strength, you know, stop caring so much about what other people are doing or saying. You know, you be the light for everybody. You know, find your light and don't give up on anything. They want you to find your strength and to continue to keep going, because when the Queen of Wands shows up, she doesn't let anybody take her down. She doesn't let anybody steal her light, and she doesn't let nobody stand in front of her. She's like the light. She tells everybody, you stand behind me. You know, that's the way you need to be. You need to change yourself to see the light in everything. You do have the World card here. And why is the World card here? From a card. So there is new experiences coming through. There's a new cycle here. The World card says that, you know, there's been conclusions, and now you're going towards, the world is turning in your favor. So it's good. This is really nice. A new beginning, a new path is here. You do have the King of Swords here, and the King of Swords is talking about, you know, being bold, being courageous, standing in your power, speaking what's on your mind, speaking the truth. You know, maybe you've been very giving towards people, or you've been overly giving yourself to everybody, and it's time for you to start speaking your truth and stand in your power into what you want to do. Because I do feel like with the Six of Pentacles that you give and give and give, but, you know, everybody takes, but doesn't give back. And I feel like you need to really start speaking your truth about whatever it is. You know, maybe it has to do with your finances. Maybe it has to do with how you're just overly giving yourself, you know. And they want you to know that this is a new path. That you're not going to be a people pleaser anymore. You're going to set boundaries. You move forward from everything that's going on. I also feel like there could be some kind of abundance coming in for you guys, also. So that's very nice. You do have the Four of Pentacles here. And why is the Four of Pentacles here? From a card. Wow. The Four of Pentacles is talking about, wow, you got the World again. That's nice. Four of Pentacles is talking about holding on to things, I feel like you're very stubborn at times, and you find it very hard to let go of a lot of things that are going on in your life, the past, things that have happened. I feel like it's very difficult for you to move forward from all that. And I feel like it's very hard for you to go with all the changes that are going to come in, that have been coming in. And I feel like you're stuck in your mind a lot about everything that has been going on. Even though there's new experiences coming through, you avoid that, and you're still like sticking in your mind about things. And they're asking you to leave this behind, to leave this worry, to leave this frustration, to leave this staying up and thinking about it, overthinking about things like that, to just leave it alone and just keep going forward. Okay, because there is a new path here. There is new experiences, there's new things coming in, and they want you to see that, that if you would believe that there are new things coming in, you wouldn't be in this the way you are, where you're at right now. You have to believe and be positive and try to keep everything balanced. Because right now I feel like you're very conflicted with everything that's going on. You're holding on to all this negativity, this past, all this stuff that has happened, and when you need to let it go, because there is a new path here for you. You have the Hangman here, and why is the Hangman here for the outcome? Home card. Wow, look at that. So, you have the Hangman. You start off with the Hangman. You have the Eight of Cups, and you have the Ace of Swords. So, very nice, you guys. It's very nice. I feel like, you need to see things differently. Okay, really see things differently. Really have patience for everything also, because there is a new path here. You have the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords says there's new beginnings. There's truth here. There's clear thinking. Trust what you know, what you see. Put your ideas out there. Put things into what you want to create. Put your energy into something more positive and not negative. Okay, because this is something that you really need to work on, because this is a new path for you. But you need to speak your truth about everything that's going on and be honest with yourself. You do have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is saying that, you're definitely leaving a lot of things behind, because they're no longer meant for you. Things have changed for you, and definitely you're changing with it, and you're on this new path right now. And I feel like you need to know your worth of everything that you need to know that you're very important to everybody, and you need to know your worth and your value, that you can do anything that anybody can, and you can move on from this no matter what. You're not going to stay in the same place. This is just a hump that you have to get over, that you have to go through. And once you do it, things are going to start looking better. You're going to start feeling better. Everything's going to start falling into place, but you need to believe that it will. Okay? Wow. That's amazing. All right, so Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. And I will see you next time. Please have a very blessed Merry Christmas. And I will see you next time. God bless.